everyone, and welcome to another episode of SportsTech X Weekly, your weekly dose of all the top news from the world of sports and technology. Let's kick us off straight away, starting not with funding news. We haven't done this in a while. There was no funding news to report last week. We looked high and low, and there are no deals to talk about. We had quite a few over the last few weeks, but nothing from last week to report. It has been an up and down summer, shall we say, much like the weather here in Berlin. But we don't need to get into that. Let's get into the DFL's partnership with Sports Media. This is a repeat, I think, of their partnership from last year. So Sports Media runs this event called Ignition, which is their kind of innovation challenge, startup competition for sports technology startups. So they have partnered with the DFL, who are promoting, as you can see from the banner, their own sports innovation event. This happens on the 20th and 21st of March of next year. We're actually also partnering with the DFL for the sports innovation event, and we're bringing you all over the month of September content around innovation in stadium technology. The goal is to present a bunch of cool tech that helps venues, arenas, stadiums either provide a better fan experience or provide better production, whether it's on the media side or just operationally enhances the stadium experience. So that's what we're doing with the DFL. Ignition is just partnering with them on their startup competition. The five themes of the competition, as before, are fan engagement, media and consumption, data and analytics, commerce, and in-venue innovation. So those are the five areas that they will partner with. So for any companies interested in getting into the Ignition competition, I don't think they've given any dates here, but you can probably find it on the innovation homepage. So go check it out. So that is first up. Next up, we have the US Open. They are the latest tennis major to jump in on the metaverse, or let's not use that word. Let's talk about Roblox. So they've got their own game on Roblox, which they're calling Champions of the Court. And this has some Billie Jean King inspired graphics and content. So we'll come to that in a second. The quick summary is that this is developed, I should say, with a company called Doppelganger, which is a very German name, of course. And this is in celebration of the 50th anniversary of the US Open. There's a bunch of highlights here, but not so important. What is important, and this is coming after the Wimbledon and Australian Open adventures. So Roblox has some experience, but there are tennis majors who have experience on Roblox. So what are you going to be able to do? So that's some images. That's Billie Jean King. So you can become this character, I believe, Coco something. Her name is Coco Gauff, who is a rising star in the tennis world. And you can go on a bunch of quests. There are some treasure hunts. There are some games you can play. It's a bunch of fun that you can have on Roblox. Check out the Champions of the Court by the US Open. Okay, next up we have the Sports and Fitness Industry Association, the SFIA, have announced their 10 startup finalists. So these are the companies that are part of the SFIA Startup Challenge, which will take place on the 10th of October. Who are the 10 finalists? Some interesting companies, some names you might know, others you might not. But if you're interested in fitness and fitness innovation or fitness tech, all of these names are relevant. So Better Guards, My Strong Circle, New Shoulder Replay. Yeah, some good names there. Worth checking out. Maybe catch the event also on the October the 10th. Details, I'm sure, are on the SFIA website. Okay, next up we have, this is an interesting one. The NFL, the NBA, and the UFC are coming together to basically, it's not really change the laws around illegal streaming, but make them better and smarter to enforce. So the TLDR of this is that the current sports piracy or live streaming piracy laws allow a stream to come down within 3 hours or after 3 hours. This is as per the DMCA. This is the legislation that was signed, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which was signed under the Clinton administration in 1998. So clearly, 25-year-old, it's probably in desperate need of an update. And it says that, yeah, basically you could, whoever was the rights holder had to take at least 3 hours to take down the stream, which doesn't make sense. Not too many sports events last for 3 hours. Yeah, an average football game is 2 hours, an NBA game maybe three and a half, depending on where you're going. So yeah, it makes a lot more sense for the time allowed by the rights holders to be much quicker, that they can respond and take these streams down faster. So that's what they're pitching for. They want to be able to take down the streams real time. Their goal here, and this is the main one that I want to support, they say the official stream should be better than free. That means it should be as cost effective and with high quality, because that's the biggest problem with illegal streams. I won't deny it. I have messed around with illegal streams here in Germany, even though I pay for most of my sports in at least two places, in Germany and in India. But I get it only in German, which is super, super annoying, whether I'm watching Formula One, my favorite race this weekend as well, or the Premier League or any sports events. If it's on Sky in Germany, it's only in German. And my German is not good enough. And I don't really want to be practicing my language when I'm watching my sport. So my point is that while this is a super solid initiative and completely do not support illegal streaming, the rights holders do have to get better in providing a better experience based on what the needs of the viewer are. I don't think they can take the high position of, hey, this is what the stream is, take it, and then we're going to completely clamp down on all other options that you have available. Most people, me included, have streams in different parts of the world and use VPNs to go in, whether I log into my Indian stream or a US-based all paid for, with a paid VPN, right? But it's not great because it'd be buffering and slow and a bunch of that nonsense. So sometimes I have to jump on an illegal stream because just to bypass the VPN. I'm making some sort of tacit admission here, which I probably shouldn't be doing. But the point is that rights holders really do have to get better if they're going to demand that people don't do anything illegal, which is a weird thing to say. But yeah, they have to do a better job with delivering their product. Okay, ending up with women's sport and more funding for women's sport. We covered a $200 million fund last week, which was announced by the Australian government. I feel like this is a bit of, yeah, you did it and I can go one better. They haven't put a number on it, but the UK government have announced an investment scheme. They call it the Women's Sport Investment Accelerator. The idea is that they're going to put in money to boost women's sports. They want to bring together women's sports rights holders, leagues, teams, competitions and events, and they want to connect them to experts and investors and basically try to grow the women's game. Of course, makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of momentum building in women's sports, as you can see also by another private investor who's entered the market. Mercury 13 is a group that plans to invest $100 million in buying women's sports clubs. It seems like they're going to, excuse me, they're going to start in football, but they'll probably go to other sports as well. So the group includes some A-list athletes, Ariana Criscona, also just people from the industry, Louis Vicente, who's been a friend of our content for a while. Other A-listers that we know. Their goal is to create a multi-club ownership model, MCO as they call it now. And the person behind the initiative primarily is Cogvina Reynal. Again, apologies if I've said your name horribly, but she is the co-founder of Gloria. Gloria was a soccer app or a football app that got acquired by OneFootball last year at World Football Summit. We were there, and we will be there again. So I will be there again. So if you're at World Football Summit in Sevilla, come say hello. But yeah, so she is the vice president of women's football at One Football, sorry. And so she's obviously she's a good person to lead this. She's got an experience on the startup side, on acquisitions, so she's done deals, and now she's got her own fund. So full power to you, and more power to the women's game. Right, that is a wrap for another episode. Yeah, go check out our website for more content. Last month, we've just wrapped up our inclusivity and accessibility through sports tech, where we covered a bunch of companies that were helping the differently abled either participate in or watch as fans the sports of their choice. We did a really cool, had a really great lineup there, so go check that out. Otherwise, for this month, as I mentioned earlier at the start of this episode, we're in partnership with the DFL for their sports innovation event. So check out all our content around innovation in stadium tech. All right, see you guys next week then. Ciao.